Engine 1 from Car 1. Car 1's on scene at Subin Command. Give me a CAN report.
Welcome to the CAN Report. I'm with my good friend Dave McElroy. He also goes by Dave Clark on his social media page. Correct? All right. He works for the Firefighter Support Network, Firefighter Cancer Support Network, and he is a big proponent of firefighter safety, firefighter cancer prevention. And we're here at the Northeastern Fire Summit in Wells, Maine for the weekend. And he's here being a spokesperson to help spread the word about cancer prevention and help others with their struggles with cancer. So thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you for having me.
All right, man. Tell me a little bit about yourself.
So I started in the fire service in 1983, right in my senior year in high school in New York, Maine. And I branched out. I'm currently with the Northwood, New Hampshire Fire Department. I am a lieutenant and safety officer there. And the other hat I wear is I am the New Hampshire director for the Firefighter Cancer Support Network, as well as being a cancer mentor. The Firefighter Cancer Support Network is an organization that is tasked to help firefighters navigate cancer. And one of the things that we do is we offer mentorship. So you get diagnosed with cancer, we will assign you a mentor who has survived that same type of cancer. And it's somebody that you can bounce questions off of. You can reach out and say, hey, man, I'm having a bad day. Or, hey, I'm having a good day because this happened.
Sure.
So the mentorship is a big part of our job. We're also heavily involved in research. How are we getting cancer, right? And the other thing that we pride ourselves with is prevention, how to reduce the risk. We have a prevention program that we do. It's about an hour and a half. We can come out to your department and do it in person. It's a great opportunity. It's a fantastic program. And we're lucky that the New Hampshire Fire Academy has joined forces with us, and that's part of Firefighter 1.
Nice.
So when you do your Firefighter 1, there's an online version of it, and everybody gets it. So we're really happy about that.
I think that's so fantastic that the Academy and you're getting to have that included in your educational part of Fire One and making sure the younger generation knows about how to hopefully prevent the spread of cancer and know how to take care of your gear, know how to decon yourself. But also, I think it's important, though, we have to keep spreading that message beyond the Academy, because as soon as they're finished, right, they go to the respective departments, or maybe they go to their call or volunteer departments. We have to make sure it doesn't end once they have that formal education.
Exactly.
So what you guys are doing is fantastic, where you're continuously spreading that message of, hey, we need to make sure we're still doing better. We need to make sure that we are still continuously educating and taking care of ourselves. It doesn't end in the classroom. It needs to continue on in your own respective firehouses.
Correct. And, we have worked very hard to try to change the culture, right? When I first started, that dirty, salty helmet that everybody had, and the dirty gear, hey, it was a badge of courage, right? Oh man, that guy's seen action.
Yeah.
What we have found out later on down the road is that has been detrimental to our health. I am battling cancer for the fourth time. I'm currently stage 4. I have colon cancer that has metastasized into my lungs. So I'm on chemo for life.
That's absolutely horrible. And I mean, how do you struggle with that? And you've been doing this now, battling this for a long time, right?
My first diagnosis was 2018.
Okay.
And then that was stage 1. They cleared me. You're good to go. And then April Fool's night of all times, I was having some GI issues, and I went to the ER, and they found a tumor in my colon. And the battle has been on. It's gone from my colon to my lymph nodes to my liver to my lung. So we were kind of playing whack-a-mole with it.
Yeah.
Right? It would pop up here, pop up there. Good days and bad days, right?
And so you have, because of this, you have a support network.
I do.
You have a whole team that helps you. I also noticed, because you're really good about sharing your struggles online, you're not hiding from it. You let people know when you're going back in for chemo. You let
Yep.
people know whether you might be in remission or things have come back. I also noticed too that you're not afraid to ask for help. That when you need a ride somewhere, or if you need some uplifting prayers, that you reach out to people,
Yeah.
whether it's social media wise or otherwise, and uh, I think that's so important to help fight this battle that a lot of people are fighting, that it's okay to reach out, to have like a support network like this program where they can get people like you, who's battling his own issues as well with cancer, and say it's okay to ask for help, and we have a
Yeah.
team here to help you.
The asking for help thing is difficult.
Yeah.
Because we're the ones that give help, right?
We fix the problems.
We fix the problems, right? So having to reach out and say, oh man, I need help with this, or I need help with that, or, it's difficult. But I think having that support network, and not just the FCSN, but friends, brother firefighters that have stood up and come through.
Yeah.
So I kind of have the mantra. I have a couple of them that I've been using is embrace the suck, right?
Yeah.
Because you're going to have good days and you're going to have bad days, but you need to push through that and win the day.
Now, for your cancer that you're dealing with, was that something you happened to get while on the job doing things, or do they not know yet?
So the assumption is it is occupational cancer. Everything is leading to that. When I first got diagnosed, they did a test for hormones and different syndromes that would lead to cancer, and that's all been negative.
Okay.
And I really don't have a family history of it. My mom passed away with ovarian cancer, but other than that, there's really no family history of it. So, 42 years in the fire service. Back in the day, we didn't wear air packs like we do today, so it's presumptive, right? So, but that doesn't change the fact that I've got cancer and I'm stage 4. And the other thing I want to really kind of push as someone going through this is stage 4 isn't a death sentence, right?
Well, that's what I hate to cut off real quick, but that's what I've noticed about you. You don't treat it like a death sentence. You are incredibly active. And when people think and hear stage 4, they think you're laying in a deathbed.
Right.
And, they're counting down the minutes on their watch. And you're not that person. You are up and at 'em. You are going to all these conferences and training seminars to preach the word about cancer prevention. You are all over the place. You're traveling all over the place with this network to help make sure that people understand they need to do better to prevent cancer.
Yeah. And I'm very lucky to be involved with the FCSN, and it's a fantastic organization. If you want information on the FCSN, it's fcsn.org, and it pulls up on our website. We are a 501(c)(3). We do everything that we do is all done by donations.
Wow.
And we get some federal grants and stuff for like training and some research stuff, but 90% of the stuff that we do is all through donations.
That's incredible.
So we do have a donation section on our website that people can give $10, $20. It all adds up. We have some great corporate partners. 1-800-BOARD-UP is a huge partner for us, and they're a big help for us. So we're very happy to have some corporate partners to help us push the word,
That's fantastic. That's, man, having people stick with that and continuously help to donate, that means the world to the programs like this.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? You can't survive without it. It's so vital to. So I know some people walk right past these tables, they go to conferences and it's a firefighter cancer table. Yeah, I don't want to go there. But you actually taking the time to read it and understand and actually talk to you in person, it helps a lot. And it's hopefully somebody, if you could touch one person, that's always my biggest thing.
Absolutely.
If you can touch one person, when you're spreading that good word and spreading that gospel of like, hey, I'm trying to be here to help you. And if they take that back and spread that word, honestly, it means the world to me when I see people like you out there fighting a good fight and saying, hey, I care about you. I care about my brothers and sisters. I'm here sitting at this table every day for like 8 hours because I just want one person to pick this up and take this back.
Yep.
So you can tell your fire department, let's be better.
So, give you an instance. Last year, we were at the Fire EMS Pro conference down at Foxwoods in Connecticut, and had a chief come up to the table, and he was kind of standing back a little bit, and I kind of engaged him, and he came up and he goes, I got a guy just got diagnosed with cancer. How do I support him? He goes, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to say. I don't know, So we had a conversation, and we kind of guided him as to this is how you support your guys. Touching that one person made that.
It's an incredible feeling when you get to help that one person and see them spread that word. It means that it's not all for naught.
Right.
That, again, these hours that you sit here, you're not getting paid to do this. And It's a nonprofit organization. To be able to touch one person and see them bring back that message, it means the world to people like you who want people to not have to struggle like you do. And I see in here in the pamphlets, it's great. They give some helpful tips. They have the barcode, the QR barcode in here. Reduce your risk. Use SCBA from initial tack to finish of overhaul. Complete a gross field decon of PPE to remove soot and other particulates. Using cleaning wipes to remove as much soot as possible from the neck up, underarms, and hands while still on scene. That's really key because now there's some really good companies out there, right? You got Flame Decon.
Yeah.
You have Ignite Decon. Flame Decon and Ignite Decon, they've been doing great things. Right, they have. I'm actually surprised that we don't see any products here, but like having their soap and their wipes at these conferences as handouts, because we just put them right in our bunker gear, or we put them in our go bags that we keep on the truck. And I know in my department we keep decon wipes and we keep soap readily available. In my department, we're actually really, really good. When we talk about the culture, I've actually seen a much more increase of decon after scenes because
that's great.
I see a lot of guys washing down. My previous department and my current department, we do a huge gross decon. As soon as we're done, that hose comes out and we're washing each other down, and that gear goes into a bag and it immediately goes into the extractor.
That's fantastic.
And we swap out into our new gear. But, we have the luxury of having spare gear, right? Now, when you go to smaller departments, especially volunteer departments that don't have that ability because of budget-wise, they're wearing gear that's really old and they don't have a second gear. So how are they supposed to decon their stuff, extract it when they don't have a second set, right? So what are they supposed to do? So a lot of times they'll just keep and go, it's not that bad. This was just, a car
fire.
It's just a haze. I didn't need to wash it down. I really don't need to decon. They might use the wipes, but when you don't have the abilities, there's some departments, honestly, don't have extractors in their departments, right? They have to go to a neighboring department to clean their gear, to decon. And so it's not like they don't want to do it. They it's financially
not feasible
can't.
for them, right?
Right. So these are great tips here. Showering thoroughly after a fire within the hour. And I would even put in here, just not one's not enough. You really need to actually do a couple of showers.
Absolutely.
The first initial, but like honestly, if you're still on shift, you do your initial shower because again, my department's actually really good. Like, okay, you guys are out of service for an hour.
Yes.
Decon your gear, but I want you guys to decon yourselves. Go take a shower, making sure you got fresh station clothes on, and then you guys can be put back into service. Because it's definitely documented, it's definitely proven that we are losing guys and girls to cancer. These steps, what you guys are doing, having this pamphlet here, I think is so important.
Yeah, it really is. And, it's kind of fueling our mission, right?
Yeah.
And, like you said, if we can just touch one person and they can come back to their department and say, and go to their chief and say, hey, I want to start a decon program.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, it takes one person
It's
to do
awesome.
it. What do they say? No? They say no, because like you said, it costs you nothing to do a decon program.
Absolutely.
Absolutely nothing. It's just given the steps, you have an SOP that you build.
Yep.
And honestly, in the fire service, we just kind of copy and paste a lot of things anyways.
Sure we do.
So it's all out there. So really all you have to do is edit it to your department needs and just put it into action.
Yeah.
And just even have to make sure that officers and senior men are actually backing those guys who want to institute that new program and making sure they're helping to follow those steps as well.
Yeah. And I want to just kind of touch a little bit. Company officers, it's important. They're the ones that are kind of watching over their guys and making sure that, hey, make sure you gross decon before we leave. Make sure that stuff gets put in a bag. When you get back to the station, get in there and get showered. We've got station coverage. So take the time to get in there, get showered, Make sure you have your clean station way to change into.
Yep.
Right. So if we can just hit the company officers to kind of manage that. So.
And I think the number right here is pretty staggering. In this initial report, 75% of IFF fallen firefighters died from occupational cancer in 2022. That's a huge number, man.
That's huge, and that's IFF members.
Right.
That's not volunteer.
Right.
That's not part-time guys. That's IFF members. And as firefighters, we have a 9% higher chance of getting cancer than the average person does.
Yeah.
And we have a 14% chance of dying from it.
Yeah.
This is serious stuff.
And now, how big is the team for this network that you're on?
So it varies from state to state. Every state has a state director. We do have a couple of states that we don't have state directors currently. And then under that network, you have a bunch of volunteers. Some states are divided into districts. So right now in New Hampshire, for instance, I'm really the only one. We're expanding and trying to get some volunteers to come in and help out. But and then there's other states that have a director and assistant director but our mentor group is fairly large. We have a wellness coordinator. Her name is Debbie Pike. She's an amazing person. She's a cancer survivor, actually. Her husband's an LA County firefighter, and she's our health and wellness coordinator. So she manages all of the requests for assistance. When someone hits that request assistance button on our website, they fill out a little bit of information that goes to her. She sends the state director, say the person was in New Hampshire. She would send an email to me, hey, did you get that request for assistance? And then I reach out to them and kind of just do like a little intake.
Sure.
Right? Who are you? Where are you from? When were you diagnosed? What do you need for help?
Yeah.
And we offer the mentor program. And what I do as a state director is I follow up. We have another thing that we have that I want to talk about is when you get diagnosed and you request for assistance, we have what's called a toolbox. And in this toolbox, it's a plastic file box. And you've got some file folders in there that you can put all your paperwork in. There's a comprehensive guide to cancer, which is fantastic. You get a water bottle and a fleece blanket, and that gets sent right to your house, free of charge.
That's great.
So, but as the state director, I want to make sure that, have you been contacted by a mentor? Did you get your toolbox? What do you need? Are you happy? Right? Did you and your mentor vibe, or do we need to kind of assign you maybe with a different mentor?
Yeah.
And it's important that you vibe with your mentor, right?
Yeah.
And for the most part, 99.9% of the time, people vibe with mentors. They establish friendships, and even after the cancer is done, you still remain friends with the people that you mentor.
Wow, that's great.
So
that's fantastic, Dave. I really appreciate the work that you're doing.
Oh, thank you.
I really appreciate the work that Firefighter Cancer Support is doing. It's definitely a valuable source of information. They're all over the place online. They have a great social network. Make sure if you are struggling, reach out to have a mentor. Dave knows firsthand what the struggle is. It truly brings the meaning of no one fights alone.
Yes.
In the struggle of this, right? So I think that's so important, the work that you're doing, traveling around, you're not letting it beat you mentally and physically. You're still going, and you're working hard to not let it beat you. And I think that's an amazing thing to talk about.
And I'm still involved in my department. You're
really active.
And my chief has been awesome. Mark Tatro, he's chief of the Northwood Fire Department. He's been really supportive and basically, do what you can. Right? I'm enjoying my new position as a health and safety officer, and it gives me passion and it gives me purpose. Instead of sitting around going, oh, woe was me, I'm actually busier now than when I was on shift.
Yeah, I know. Like I said, I've been following you, and you are a busy guy.
The other mantra I use is I have cancer and cancer doesn't have me.
Yeah, I love that.
Right?
That's nice.
So, but I really appreciate you having me on.
Sure.
And kind of spotlighting the Firefighter Cancer Support Network. Again, we are a FCC organization, and we're always looking for donations.
Yeah.
So there's a donation button on our webpage that people can go to, and $5, $10, it all adds up. So
I love the slogan here: "You fight fire, we fight cancer."
Yeah,
I think that's fantastic. Dave, thank you so much for being on the program. Thank you so
man.
much for what you do and
Yeah.
spreading the word and protecting us.
Yes,
It
sir.
means a lot, and it doesn't go unseen. We do see you.
Good.
Appreciate you, Dave.
All right.
Thank you so much, my friend.
Thank you, my friend.
You're welcome.
All right.
Thank you all for listening. Make sure you tune in, subscribe. Make sure you do follow the Cancer Firefighting Support Network. And if you need information, Dave is a wealth of information. He is on social media. You can find him on these programs here. If any questions, you reach out to me. If you can't get a hold of him, and I'll get a hold of him for you. You all be well. Stay safe. Love you. Mazel tov.